Hey everybody, welcome back behind the bar for round 4 of Prairie Week, 4 of 6. We started with Prairie Noir, Coffee Noir, Pirate Noir, and now Vanilla Noir. Decided to start with the Noir series just because they're similar, and I'm doing them all back to back to back to back to back to back, and you guys get when you get them. So and a little bit there, a little more. This should be an interesting video. Anyway, so to recap, the Noir series is Prairie's, and this one is 11.5%, so lining up right exactly what Coffee Noir was. This was 11, 11.5, 11.5, 12. Imperial Oatmeal Stout from Prairie Artisan Ales out of Tulsa, and then we started with the base beer, which is just in whiskey barrels, and then coffee, the rum barrel version, and now the vanilla version. The vanilla version I've actually reviewed on YouTube before, sort of. Joe and I over at Jow's Arcade did a blind Vanilla Wars video where we did Fundamental Observation, Goose Island, Vanilla Noir, this, and Vanilla and Media Noche from Weldworks. And this beer was actually, it hung. At the time, the only thing was the nose on this beer was weird. You didn't get much of anything. It almost smelled infected, but the taste was awesome. So I have had this beer before, but it was the last batch. This, I believe, was the last batch. This is 3 of 16, so who knows? I don't know when the one we did was. I didn't check it. They might all be last batch, because that, right? This is 3, 5, 16. So that's March. We're almost a year on that. So I don't know if I'm reading their dates wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm seeing. So anyways, let's dive in and see what we think. This looks exactly like all of the rest of them. Looks like cola, pitch black on the glass, a little bit of just cola head. Let's dive in and see what it smells like. Much like I remember the one I had in the vanilla video with Joe, it has this really like tart sweetness to it. I mean, I get a little bit of vanilla in there, but I'm not getting roasted malts. I'm not getting really much barrel. I get this really artificial tart sweetness. This reminds, the brain cells are firing, and this reminds me to everything I remember of the one that Joe and I reviewed. Yeah, I mean, roasting is just huge. I think the tartness is coming from, this is just huge. And I got it a lot in the Prairie Noir. I didn't get it at all in the Coffee or the Pirate. This is huge. I think the tartness is coming from just huge dark fruits, just tart, dark chocolate covered cherries, figs, raisins, a little bit of vanilla to go along with that. But this is huge dark fruits, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Let's dive in and see what it tastes like for round 4 of Prairie Stout Week. Cheers, guys. And as a quick reminder, because I mentioned this in one video, these were all at cellar temp in my cellar, which is right around 60 degrees. I threw them in the fridge for about 30 minutes, but since I started recording, it's probably been sitting out for 45 minutes, so it's probably back to close to cellar temp. Interesting. Well, it's got a nice vanilla notes, but then it's got a little boozy finish, some roasted malts, but the dark fruits in this are almost overpowering. It's got this tart, rich cherry, fig, no real barrel characteristic. Don't get me wrong, this is a really good beer. But I remember drinking, and this is one of those things that happens when you do blind battle beers. And I'll talk about this for a second. when you do blind battle beers, once you get like 3 in, and I'm saying this because I'm preparing to do during this week when I'm filming, when you're watching these, I'm actually doing I'm doing 2 really big videos that they're going to be guest stars, and we're doing a shit ton of whales. Not whales, but like the beers everybody knows when it comes to adjunct stouts. And when Joe and I did this, the way it ended up going is when we drank the beers that we drank, we ended up drinking like the 2 best beers kind of like around this. And I wonder if drinking like Fundamental Observation and well, Vanilla Rye we voted last, but like WorldWorks, Noche, Vanilla Meaty Noche, like if it kind of added more vanilla notes to this because it was on my tongue. I've done a really good job. I've actually been drinking water this whole time in between videos. And this is not anywhere near as vanilla forward as I remember this beer being. I mean, I have this at the proper temp. I'm getting some vanilla, but it's almost like the vanilla extract that I get in Vanilla Rye that I'm not a huge fan of because it's kind of one note. But then on top of that, then you get all these like dark fruits that kind of take away from it. And I don't get any of the roastiness. There's really no bitterness to this beer at all to speak of. And it finishes slightly boozy. A twinge of booze. I'm going to be completely honest, and going into this, I did not think this was going to be the case, because if we're being honest, in Kansas City right now, the 2 that I can still go out and find are these 2, which is Prairie Noir and Coffee Noir. My least favorites of this would be Prairie Noir and Vanilla Noir. I thought Pirate and Coffee were by far the world-class beers of this. Prairie Noir is really good, but just boozy as fuck. This is a dark fruit vanilla bomb. And while I like it, I don't love it. Which has kind of blown me away. I love vanilla stouts. Like, vanilla, coconut, maple are like my 3 favorite stouts, period. And like, I will rock those any chance I get. But this is one of the weirder ones that I've had. So, I'm like middle to low A on this one. It's not... I personally think it is not even close. The only thing that keeps Prairie Noir, for people that don't like boozy stouts, you will like Vanilla Noir better. But if you don't mind boozy barrel-aged stouts, if you like to feel your barrel-aged stouts, you're going to like Prairie Noir better, I think. It sucks because this is my least favorite. It's funny. I always thought that like this is the one I have the least of, but I ended up getting some more of. And I have a couple of these and none more of these. I wish I had more of these, and I'd be fine with not having more of those. I don't know. It's not a bad beer. It's just kind of blowing me away because I remember when Joe and I did that video of batch 2. I think maybe this is technically batch 3. It is. So batch 2 of that beer, which I got from my man Chris. Shout out to that. I loved that beer. I thought it was fantastic. I thought if the nose had been on point with that beer, if you watched that video, it would have been on par with Fundamental Observation and Vanilla Meaty Noche, which won that video for both of us pretty much unanimously. This would have been that good, but this is not. The nose and the taste really kind of are one and the same. Maybe when it ages like the last one, because the nose on this is very similar to what I remember batch 2 being. But the taste on batch 2 was far superior to batch 3. But again, it could be, blind bias. I mean, that could exist because your taste buds, we try to drink water in between and all that. But, you have that vanilla on your tongue from those other beers, and it might overshadow some of the flaws in a beer if it's not the first one you drink. So, things to keep in mind. So, not a bad beer. It's worth picking up. I wouldn't, trade hard for it. Because I think it is the hardest to get. I know in Kansas City, on the Kansas side, we had 6 cases of this for the entire freaking whatever. So, anyways, that's where I'm going to leave this on this one. But we're not through yet. If you've paid attention, and I've made it just blatantly obvious, we were going to do a Noir CUVEE. So this, I've poured a little bit. It's a huge pour of all 4 of these beers. So this is 1 part Pirate Noir, 1 part Prairie Noir, 1 part Coffee Noir, and 1 part Vanilla Noir. Average ABV of 11.5 based on the ABVs of the rest of them. Let's dive in and see what it tastes like. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. So the nose is kind of muted. It tastes like... It tastes like a blend of these two, of Vanilla Noir and Pirate Noir. It's got that sweet, tart, dark fruit thing, but it's got that like Pirate Noir decadence to it. But the taste is almost a blend of these two. It's not as boozy as this was. There is a sweetness to it. It's kind of a mix of the Coffee Noir and the Pirate Noir with a little bit of the dark fruits there on the end. Oh, that's weird. The CUVEE is almost like more watery than the rest of them. It's got a thinness to it, and I think it's just because some of the flavors counteract the others, and it just kind of when it hits your lips, it's not real flavorful. Interesting. The Pirate Noir is very forward in this, and the coffee, the roastiness is there. The CUVEE is great. I mean, it's fun to do. This is very unique because I'm blending a lot of unique styles. But it's the same base beer, so it's really good. I like it. So let's summarize Noir because I'm not doing these two tonight. I thought I might, but that ain't happening. I'm feeling warm. So this was I don't think I rated this. So Vanilla Noir was low A. It was low A to A minus. I hate saying that because I loved that beer in batch 2. I'll put a little age on the one I have left and we'll see where it ends up. But for right now, it was definitely for me the weakest of the 4. The best 2 by far world class were Coffee and Pirate. This was a unique drinking experience. I definitely recommend, especially if you love rum barrel stouts, check this out. This was fucking incredible. And this is one of the better barrel aged coffee beers I've ever had. This is going to be interesting, me saying this, and I'm going to go out on a limb, but like one of the biggest coffee barrel aged breweries right now is Cycle, and I've done some odd Cycle reviews on this channel. I mean, I've done Scoop, which is freaking incredible, but a collaboration. I've done Hazelnuts. Have I done anything else? I don't know. I'm going to be doing a few more lately because I have a ton of Cycle coming, but so many coffee stouts barrel aged are really hard to do because you get a ton of bitterness. Whereas with this beer, this is one of the best coffee barrel aged stouts I've ever had. It's silky smooth. It is awesome flavor. Pick it up if you like coffee. It is phenomenal. It's close to hundreds for me. It really is. But it's because I really don't like coffee barrel aged beers or coffee stouts in general, and that one is fucking killer. Because I love coffee, but you get so much just bitterness, like green pepper, like it's just bad. And most stouts, in my opinion, that is not the case with this. Killer series of beers. The only one I wouldn't really, if I saw it on shelves, I would buy all of them, but I would not trade for this one. I would trade for this. Probably wouldn't trade for this, and I would trade for this. This was the hardest one for me to get. Prairie Noir. Coffee's still on shelves here. Prairie's still on shelves. Vanilla's nowhere to be found. So I will sometime this week film these two, but for the safety of me and those around me, I will not. This evening, CUVEE, because it's fun. Which do I prefer, that or the vanilla? That just tastes weird now. Little Timmy flavors between the CUVEE and that. I don't have a judge. Freaking killer, guys. Just killer. Do it, have fun. Prairie Stout Week off to an amazing start. We're moving on to Bomb next. From the Noir series. Thanks for coming behind the bar, everybody. I said it in the first video. I'll say it in this one because I don't know when what will be posted with these two, but I am thankful for the holidays for my family, for my daughter, and for my friends. But I'm thankful for my viewers as well. I'm really close. By the time you watch the end of this series, I'll probably be at 1,000 viewers. And I never expected that. Everybody says I should do something huge for 1,000. I feel like I should do what I did with my 500 subscribers and do like Newcastle again, because it's just fun. But I love this. It's amazing. It's taught me a lot about beer. It's taught me a lot about people and how they view beer, but it's brought people into my life that I never expected, and it's brought a lot of fun into my life, and it wasn't there from this point of view, and especially this today is, anyways. Thank you. I hope you all have a very happy holidays, no matter what background, religion, anything you are. Enjoy the season, enjoy maybe some time off, enjoy your family, be thankful for what you have, and yeah, that's it. So we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for coming behind the bar. Thanks for the likes, subscribes, and comments to my channel.